Greetings, citizens of Nerdtropolis. Sean Taj here, the mayor of Nerdtropolis, and my guest today is Les Weldon, the producer of Expend4bles 4. Les, it's a great pleasure to talk to you today about the fourth Expend4bles movie. I took my dad to watch this, and we had a blast. It's kind of a tradition of ours to watch anything really with Stallone, but the Expend4bles movies was always something me and him went to go watch in theaters, and we had a great time.
I'm happy. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very cool to see actually a very diverse crowd in the theater of all ages and all types. It's actually really cool to see, me and my dad are kind of like the typical moviegoers for this type of film, but we saw a lot of different types of people enjoying the film. How do you think this film attracts a diverse audience?
Well, I think the Expendables, just as a concept, a bunch of guys who, are mercenaries, and sometimes their moral compass a little bit ambiguous, but there's something about, their relationships and the heart about what they do that can be relatable to somebody who's, 80 or 15, that you care about these characters, that these characters actually bring you into whatever plight they have or whatever they're doing or situation they have, and you ride along with them, and they're not some kind of a CG character or some kind of fantasy based character, and they're just people that you laugh along with. You're safe and you're in a movie, but the situations they get into are things that I think people can go on the ride with them.
The audience was diverse, and so is the cast, and so I think that goes hand in hand. And Les, for those that don't know what a producer does, can you let everyone know what a producer does, and how did you get started as a film producer?
Well, what a producer does is a producer helps pull everything together and then, in essence, manages the whole film. While the director is directing the actors and the writer has already written the film, the producer now is in charge of the budget and in charge of the cost and in charge of, more importantly, even, is making sure that the money that is spent is put up on screen. Because if a lot of money is wasted on behind the scenes things, then, or just, not shot, then you're not going to get everything that you need for the film. And I started off, it's one of the reasons I did become a producer, is because I started off in the business as a writer, and I wrote, I think, 16 movies or 17 movies, but a lot of them didn't turn out the way I had even remotely envisioned. And I thought, you know what? I guess if I want any of my writing to kind of be what I expect it to be, I need to have some influence on the production process itself. And I just kind of naturally transitioned into that.
Yeah, and you have definitely tons of movies underneath your belt. You've been doing this a while.
Yeah.
And one of the things I loved about this movie, I was excited when I heard the decisions y'all made to go and make this a rated R film compared to the third film, which was PG-13. Where did that decision come from to kind of go back to the roots of the franchise, which made it so great? The third one's really fun, but it was also great to get a rated R vibe.
Yeah, look, you know what? It's I think the reception for the third one, because I enjoyed the third one, I enjoyed making it. There was perhaps a little disappointment that it wasn't the usual hard R. And maybe it was a mistake on our part. We're, instead of really giving the audience what they want, we were sort of saying, well, maybe they want this instead. And that's, I think, when you lose track a little bit with the audience. So on this one, we said, hey, you know what? We know what the fans want. They want the hard R. They want the big explosions. They want to feel it. They want to feel the bullet hits. They want to hear the gunfire. They want all of that visceral stuff that is kind of lost a little bit in the third one, whether it be blood, whether it be huge explosions, whether it be, all the stuff that makes the Expendable such a visceral experience. And the audience, I think, felt a little bit like, oh, that was like that was like if you're playing football and there's an ankle tackle, it's not the same as a crunch of helmets. So we went back to, full steam ahead. The freight train is coming at you, and you better go along for the ride or get run over.
Yeah, it's very true. This is definitely kind of leans on the harder side of ours. A lot of shocking moments, awesome moments, very stuff I didn't expect to see in this movie. Y'all took it kind of to the next level, I felt like, with the fourth one. Put it all on the table and don't leave anything, right? And, the cast is very diverse, but was there anybody that y'all were so close to adding to this squad?
Well, not like the last one, for example. On the last film, we had several name actors, good actors that we wanted to bring in. But when you approach it that way, you usually end up bringing in a character who interacts with the other characters, but it's not really part of the story. So we kind of went back to basics, built the story first, had the characters in there, and then we chose the actors. And really, it was almost all of them that we were able to bring back that we wanted. I can't think of anybody else. Maybe there was a scheduling conflict with one of them, but otherwise, we wanted to bring in characters that could sort of interact with and revive and freshen up our guys. And so instead of bringing in, for example, another tough guy who's going to have some kind of a conflict with Jason, we thought, hey, you know what? Let's bring in a sexy, tough woman. And that happened to be Megan, who goes head to head with him. And suddenly it's fun. It's one of those things that now you see a new side of Jason's character, and which you don't have in the previous ones, and you have another new interesting character. And that's the way you have to really build and sort of freshen up these kind of franchises.
Yeah, you mentioned Statham, and I'm obviously a big Stallone fan, but I'm also a very big Jason Statham fan. Mm-hmm. Everything he's been in, I've loved, but I think people forget how awesome his fighting skills are. It was so amazing to see it put in this aspect on screen. It was really fun to see this. What does he bring to the set every day?
Well, look, he's very intense, and as you mentioned, he's such a good fighter, and he is that character. But on this one, which he was totally up for, in fact, I think both he and our director Scott had talked about it. They wanted to give it just a little bit of a twist. So we brought in, Jackie Chan's stunt team to help with the fights, especially the hand-to-hand fights, which we knew Jason could do. And it sort of added another kind of dimension. It was not just the knives of the previous films or the weapons or this. Now you really had some really kick-ass fight scenes between Jason and the bad guys and the interaction. And it just, to me, it helped expand that fight world that the Expend4bles has.
Yeah, the fight scenes we're talking about, you gotta go see this on the big screen, everybody. It is really cool to see. One of my favorites I've seen on the screen. And obviously we got Stallone in this movie. He is a legend, and he's had such a long and strong career, and he's not slowing down yet. No. What really makes Stallone such a legend, an extraordinary person, and really the last action hero of our time? He's still going, and I don't see anyone else that matches his level to this day. So, but what makes him so extraordinary?
Because he is bigger than life, but not only that, he's extremely intelligent, and he understands filmmaking. Look, as an actor, as a writer, as a director, he's about the only actor I can think of that has created, written, acted, directed in 3 different franchises. It's like his creativity is amazing, and then his writing is amazing, and he's a problem solver on the set. Even if it's something not involved with him, we can still talk to him about that. If it's something that's about story and not even about his character, he has great ideas, and his brain is always working, and he's still incredibly sharp with it.
Yeah, I love everything that he has been in. And I got to ask you this. I see you're producing another Hellboy movie. Is that true?
Yes.
Is there anything you can share about that?
Just that's also back to its roots. It's going to be a very dark, moody, kind of creepy Hellboy. There's not going to be any of this gloss that was in any of the previous movies. This is going to be one just for the fans. Really, really moody.
Hellboy fans out there are going to be super excited to hear that. But thank you so much, Les. It was great talking to you.
Thank you.
Once again, this is Sean Taj, the mayor of Nerdtropolis, and stay tuned for more movie news, reviews, interviews, and trailers.